This is the Miyabi Kaizen, which is the original Miyabi design. Real quick, at a glance, we've got VG10 stainless steel with a Damascus pattern and a polished edge, a bolster, as well as a stainless steel end cap, which provides a completely different balance to this blade compared to other traditional Japanese knives, a black and gray toned micarta handle with some red inlays and a beautiful mosaic pin in the center of the handle. Now, before I dive into everything about this knife, what is interesting to know is the Miyabi story. And that brings us all the way back to 1731, which is when the first ever trademarked and established German knife-making company was created, and that is Zwilling. Now, Miyabi is not from 1731. They are from the year I graduated high school, which is 2004, and that is when Zwilling acquired a Japanese knife-making facility that was already making some really high-end premium knives, and that is how the Miyabi brand was born. Of the 9 different series of Miyabi knives that we have at Cutlery More, the Kaizen, the original design, is the only one that is made with VG10 stainless steel. VG10 has been around for a long time, since the 80s. It's a fantastic steel, but it has to be handled properly. So there's 2 things that are interesting about how the blades are formed. The first is that Miyabi is one of the few Japanese knife makers that does their heat treatment in-house. The second thing is they go through a ice hardening process, which is a cryogenic process that allows the blade to harden in a way that it is even all throughout and from knife to knife to knife to knife. So it doesn't matter which knife you get. If you start with the Kaizen, you end up with the black or the Birchwood. All the knives are going to have the same precise hardening process. Think of it like this. Have you ever baked a cake? You pull it out and you got like a cool spot in your oven. So your cake over here is a little loosey-goosey, and over here it might be overdone. That can basically happen to knives if they're not heated and cooled properly, where you don't get the same type of hardness throughout. Now, what's great about VG10 at a 61 Rockwell hardness is you have a stainless steel knife that is hard enough that it's going to retain its edge, but it's also soft enough that you at home will be able to put this on a whetstone and sharpen it. So if you enjoy that European style rock chop and you like to mince and kind of twist a little bit, and occasionally, I don't know, maybe like push your onions off to the side of your cutting board with the edge of the knife, you don't have to worry about it cracking and chipping like harder Japanese steels, such as the black here with the MC66, which has a 66 Rockwell hardness. So the blade comes sharp, and as long as you abuse the knife and you properly hone it, it will stay sharp. 2 more things about the blade that's important. We have a rounded spine and a rounded heel, making this very comfortable at the pinch grip. And down a little further, which also makes it comfortable at the pinch grip, would be the bolster. What's great about this bolster is it's super comfortable, and it provides a little bit more of a handle-heavy experience compared to traditional Japanese knives, where the tang just goes into the handle and it's kind of just a sharp angle right here. This is where you get a little bit of that German influence because of the bolster. Now, in addition to the bolster, to balance things out even further, we have a stainless steel end cap with the Kanji logo here. The red inlays are certainly nice, along with the mosaic here, but the handle is also made out of micarta. Micarta is an engineered material that's very similar to like an epoxy. It is just incredibly, incredibly durable. It's not going to warp. It's not going to move. It is just a solid handle. The handle is D-shaped, but it's ever so slightly D-shaped. We have plenty of people that are left-handed or right-handed. It doesn't seem to affect how the blade performs or feels in your grip. And as you can see, this has a really nice balance to it. It kind of seesaws back and forth depending exactly where you put your finger, but it's pretty evenly balanced. Keep in mind, the balance of a knife doesn't make it good or bad. It's all personal preference and how you're using it. But if you prefer a more balanced blade, then this is fantastic, because a lot of Japanese knives are blade heavy, whereas a lot of German knives are handle heavy, and this just fits right there in the middle. This is the 8-inch chef's knife, but you can get a Kaizen design as a nakiri, a santoku, bread knife, slicer, paring, utility, the list goes on. There is an entire array of knives you can get with the same type of pattern. And between the VG10, the stainless steel, the Micarta handle, you're getting a ton of value in such a high quality Japanese knife. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the Miyabi Kaizen, their OG design. It is one of the 9 different Miyabi series that we have at Cutlery and More, including our 2 exclusives, which would be the Mizu and the Koya. This is the Kaizen. I'm Chef Brandon with Cutlery and More. Thanks for tuning in.